Hello guys, and welcome to another episode of Is It Worth It, the series where I share my review and my opinion for different video games that I have experienced. Today's video is about March's most discussed game, which is none other than It Takes Two. It Takes Two is an action-adventure puzzle platformer developed by Hazelight Studios, the studio behind the popular Way Out escape game and Tale of Two Brothers. The game was published by Electronic Arts, also known as EA, and more specifically under the EA Originals titles for all available consoles, including the next gens, at the end of March 2021. Similar to The Way Out, It Takes Two is another co-op core game. What I mean by this is that the game can only be played in co-op, both local and online co-op. The best thing about the game's online co-op is that you can play the game with a friend without them owning the game. To elaborate on this, a person can buy the game and then can tell their friend to go to the Play Store and download a free file called It Takes Two Friend Pass. This pass will allow the player with the game to invite the player with the pass and play the game together, but the pass wielder cannot invite another one with a pass as there won't be a complete game owner. I personally played the game in local multiplayer. I'm gonna start with the one thing that I didn't particularly enjoy, and that is the story of the game. The game begins by introducing us to Cody and May, a couple that seems to be on the verge of breaking up, and they don't know how they should announce the news to their daughter Rose, who seems to already know it's coming, but doesn't want to accept it as she seems using custom-made figures of her family and wish that they were happy once again. They call their daughter for food, and they tell her the news. Rose leaves the table, heads to her bedroom, grabs the figurines, and runs to the storage, where she starts reading a book called The Book of Love by Dr. Joaquin, and starts crying. The next thing we know is that the souls of her parents got transferred into the figurines. The book appears in front of them and tells them that to solve their problems they'll need to work together. This is where the gameplay begins. Without spoiling things, they have to work together if they wish to return to their real bodies. Needless to say, they refuse to listen to a talking book, and they try to figure things out themselves. At the same time, the book refuses to let them go on their adventure and keeps sabotaging them. The adventure that follows is interesting as we get to know more about the family, from the beginning, from that first spark, to the ambitions, through the ups and downs, and to the final downfall of the relationship. My problem here is not the cliché ending, which I'm pretty sure everybody can tell, but my problem is that out of the 9 chapters, in 8 of them, they are still not happy with each other. Yes, they start to be reminiscing of their past, but they have their minds made. Then comes chapter 9 and says, yeah, okay, things are better now. I love the characters of May and Cody, as they both seem to be very well written characters who had their dreams, mindsets, struggles and opinions. They made dumb decisions, but they seem to have a goal that tries to explain their acts. Rose, however, I can't seem to get to like her. She acts completely stupid. Yeah, she is a little girl, but some of her acts are just annoyingly dumb. For example, she sees both of her mom and dad sleeping, she approaches them, talks to them, and then she seems to get upset as they don't respond back to her. And I'm not even gonna bother mentioning the last scene, due to spoilers. However, I do not know how it feels growing up in that kind of environment, so I can't relate, but I don't think that really matters in my opinion towards it. The gameplay of the game is simply perfection. As I mentioned, it's 100% co-op experience. You venture around as one of the 2 heroes and try to solve puzzles in order to move forward. You can always track the actions of your ally, as the game will always be split screen, no matter whether or not you are online or offline. The character mobility is standard to any game. You sprint, you jump, you double jump, you dash, you crouch, and for this you can also hook to higher items. However, the thing that makes the game unique is the fact that the gameplay always introduces new mechanics to keep things fresh. In one chapter your character uses tools, in other they use weapons. The game turns into a third-person shooter where you can use the weapons to shoot enemies, or solve puzzles, or even to move around. There are other chapters where one of your heroes have to fly a plane while the other one plays a 2D fighting game or a shooting game. In other chapters, the game turns into a dungeon game where one is close combat swordsman while the other one is a mage. Furthermore, there are chapters where one of the 2 heroes can transform into flowers of different abilities while the other one has supportive skills. In others you ride spiders, you ride birds, you can stop time, create clones, and many more. Honestly, the gameplay of the game is amazing and I would have loved to go into further details for the gameplay, however, it's something you should experience on your own. Throughout the game, there's plenty of minigames that you can find while moving around in an area. You can locate them if you witness a flying tambourine. These tambourines, upon interaction, will cause a minigame to begin. Always have an ear out in case one of the heroes yells about the game, or reference something about the game. You can always access the minigames throughout the title screen, and you can also witness which chapters has a non-found minigame. There's a total of 25 minigames and all of them are competitive. They come in many forms and they will always keep the score. Some of the minigames are chess, tug of war, volleyball, racing, shooting, and others. As I said, there's 25 of them, so go outside and collect them all. The animation of the game is smooth. I own the PS4 copy of the game and it runs smooth on the PS5. The maps are huge and gorgeous. I don't think I'm able of pinning out a map and call it bad. Whether it's skiing, whether it's a small town in a frozen bowl where you go underwater, so many good stuff. Another good thing about the maps is that they have plenty of interactions for either trophies or minigames or just simply Easter eggs. And they all create amazing platforming levels with amazing puzzles. Honestly, they're really good levels. The design of the enemies are also worth commenting for, as there are plenty and all of them way different than the previous ones. Their challenge though is pretty much calculated on the team's teamwork and on the level of trolling each of you is willing to troll. The soundtracks are not as memorable though as the gameplay or the maps, but they are still there. Some may like them, some may not. I personally cannot recall any soundtrack. Overall, it's a great game and something that I believe will become an instant classic for couch multiplayer. I would 100% recommend the game as it will leave people with a satisfying adventure and a pleasurable experience. Grab a friend, either online or local, and enjoy. As always, if you enjoyed these videos, please leave a like and subscribe. If you're interested in more reviews, do check out the playlist below. Tell me in the comments below your opinion on the game, and if you, unlike me, enjoyed the story as much as the gameplay. While you are there, tell me which minigame out of the 25 you prefer, and which hero had the better powers. In my opinion, I believe May had the better power-ups, and the best minigame will be the Ice Skate Race, and not because I'm a huge SSX fan. Till then, take care, and I'll see you all in the next one. See ya!